Hey everyone, today we're discussing a groundbreaking achievement in space exploration. Firefly has successfully landed its Blue Ghost lander on the moon. This marks the first fully successful commercial moon landing. Let's dive in and take a look.
Marvelous views of the moon, the close-up captured this week by a spacecraft owned by a Texas company. Today it became the second to land a privately built spacecraft on the lunar surface and the first to land one upright. Here's CBS's Mark Strassman.
Hate that they have to mention that.
Y'all select the landing. We're out the moon.
The landing, flawless. The first pictures, stunning. Firefly's Blue Ghost lander casting a shadow across the lunar surface. In the distance, the Earth, and all of us 240,000 miles away.
I'm so proud of that lander and the team that built it. It's incredible.
This is the spacecraft director.
The spacecraft program director at Firefly Aerospace.
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
We first met her and her company.
Yeah, so this is pretty interesting right here. Obviously, you see the Blue Ghost spacecraft in the middle. You see kind of an overhead crane. Kind of looks like they have some antenna testing equipment up here hanging off of the ceiling. You've got some tooling for accessing the top of the vehicle during your assembly. And you've got a cordoned off zone. Looks like there's some test racks and test equipment. But this room doesn't look like it's more than 30 feet wide by maybe 100 feet long. And, you know, it's a sign of the day and age that we live in, where a company can build a spacecraft lander in a hangar of this type. Previously this would have been done at a NASA facility, and it would have been, much larger venture. So this is a great insight into their operations and the type of setup that it takes to perform this type of mission.
Company's Blue Ghost lunar lander 3 months ago.
Another interesting view.
6 feet tall, 11 feet wide, with 4 landing legs now touching lunar dust.
So their cameras distributed basically.
You got your big antennas. And looks like they've got some interesting solar panels set up here. It looks like these solar panels are meant to be deployed. So there's some kind of power supply activity coming from those panels.
All the way around the lander.
Launched in January, Blue Ghost cameras captured video of its journey from Earth to lunar orbit. Its mission delivered 10 payloads to the lunar surface for NASA.
So if we kind of look down, you see over there, you see that spout kind of coming down?
I do.
So that's the drill, and it will deploy down and go into the lunar surface.
This drill will try to penetrate 9 feet below the surface to measure temperature. Another experiment will vacuum up loose lunar rock and dust.
Yeah, this is an example of the CLIPS program, the Commercial Lunar Payload Services. NASA put out a requirement, a series of requests for proposals for commercial companies to bring their science instruments to the moon. And again, this is a great example of how commercial companies can step in and help NASA make science happen. It's best when NASA can focus their activities on elements that are first ever, things that haven't been done before. And once a capability is established, it's the best, it's most ideal for the commercial sector to step in and help make those activities happen more frequently and more affordably.
Payloads are collecting data so we can figure out what does it feel like to be on the lunar surface, to operate on the lunar surface. So all that data will inform when we actually return humans to the moon.
It really does open up a whole new way for us to get more science to space and to the moon.
Blue Ghost should survive about 2 weeks or 1 lunar day.
Yeah, so it's interesting that they ask her to comment on the payloads. If you had it your way, really the commercial vehicle providers would have no idea what's going on with the science instruments, and that's a question better suited for the scientists that create the science payloads. But amazing accomplishment from the director of the spacecraft team.
Until the sun sets and its batteries drain.
More science to space and to the moon.
Blue Ghost should survive about 2 weeks or 1 lunar day until the sun sets and its batteries drain.
Nervous to think about.
So this is one of the things that I thought was the most surprising about the project. The expected lifetime of this commercial spacecraft that landed on the moon, they said is about 2 weeks. And after those 2 weeks of sunlight, you have 2 weeks of nighttime on the moon. And the challenge with that is that, as opposed to here on Earth, once you have those 2 weeks of darkness, temperature goes down to about minus 250 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a very challenging environment for electronics, generally, and mechanisms to survive and then function properly after those 2 weeks. Um, and I thought, if you're going to spend all that trouble to get to the moon, you might want to incorporate some technologies that allow you to survive the lunar nighttime. But then, I read up a little bit, and the real purpose of this mission was to demonstrate the capability to get to the moon, the lunar surface, affordably. We've gotten to the moon before, but generally it's cost billions of dollars. And so it makes sense that the capability that's really being tested here is for a commercial company to bring science payloads, or any kind of payload really, to the lunar surface and do it in a timely way, do it in an affordable way, and eventually we'll work out the elements required in order to survive those lunar night times. So for example, we know that underneath the surface of the moon, it might be a bit less, more hospitable in order to survive that 2 week of nighttime.
But for Allensworth, until today, the moon seemed so far away. Not anymore.
You just imagine, like, that's where it's going to be, but now you know it's there. And that's a totally different feeling. So, yeah, the next full moon, I just won't sleep. I'll stare at it all night.
One moon landing at a time. Space companies like Firefly now prove they have the right stuff. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Atlanta.
So congratulations to the Firefly team. Wish them nothing but success, and can't wait to hear about their next missions. See you next time.